a few short stories from my own encounter with poverty. The first is from the other side of the world, from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Many families there live on pallets, large tables that mark off one family's space from that of their neighbors. Imagine there a mother with 3 children. The father has already died of AIDS. The mother is now dying. Her 7-year-old son is taking care of her, and for his 2 younger siblings. The little boy is HIV positive. Unlike his parents, he may have access to antiretroviral medicine, but that access is far from guaranteed, and he will need them for the rest of his life. This 7-year-old boy and his siblings are very poor. They will struggle, probably for the rest of their lives, to find water, food, a place to live. They may never go to school, and if they do, even a good education may not help them find a decent job. A second story is from the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where 30 or 40 young men have found refuge for a few months in a center for former child soldiers. They are among the hundreds of thousands of children under the age of 18 who have been forcibly recruited or lured by promises of enough to eat to serve in government forces or with armed rebel groups. Some are as young as 8 years old. Children like them have been caught in armed conflicts in almost every region of the world. They serve as porters or cooks, guards, messengers, or spies. Sometimes they're forced to the front lines, sent into minefields ahead of older troops, or used for suicide missions. Many are forced to commit atrocities against their own families or neighbors. And they are stigmatized. Many are unable to return home. They also are the very poor. And the last story from the United States, from my own neighborhood in this city, our nation's capital, only a few blocks from here, where a grandmother and her 5 children live crammed in a small, dangerous basement apartment because they cannot afford anything better. Where on any given night, homeless shelters are full of men, women, and children who can't afford even one room. Where the hundreds of people who don't fit or are unwilling to go to shelters sleep on heating vents, on public sidewalks, or in cars, even in the middle of winter. Many of them work long hours, but still don't earn enough to secure decent housing or health care. They are another face of the very poor, and the story goes on and on. Poverty is privation at the most basic level. It precludes the possibility of a life that is fully human. As people of faith and conscience, we are called to solidarity with the boys in the Congo, the families in Cambodia, people struggling to survive in this city, with impoverished people everywhere. Solidarity, we hope, will move us beyond detachment from the material possessions we continue to accumulate toward a genuinely simple lifestyle and into relationship with those who are living on the margins of our society. If what we have, where we live, how we spend or don't spend our time keeps us from having friends who are poor, then we will rethink what we have, where we live, and how we spend our time. If what we eat or wear is produced by workers who are not paid a living wage, then we will change what we eat or what we wear. We will never again define who we are by what we have or how much we earn. Even more, if we earn a living on the backs of those who are poor, we will look for more life-giving work. If we begin to think that everyone can get out of poverty by trying harder, pulling on a proverbial bootstrap, we will rethink our analysis of the world in which we live. We will work with those who are impoverished to change the structures and transform the systems that create or perpetuate poverty. We will evaluate laws and public policy proposals and business practices through the lens of people who are poor and struggling communities. We will live in a manner that is conscious of the reality in which most people in the world live, willing to look with honesty at the systemic and structural connections between our prosperity and their poverty. In other words, we who are called to solidarity will shape our lives and our futures from the standpoint and for the sake of those who are poor. Thank you.